So we were moving around this rock, and we got 3 of them now. Let's go ahead and hide one back there, right there, and then let's move back. Let's move this rock up a tad bit, and let's go ahead and move this one down some, and then let's go ahead and shift, or let's go ahead and duplicate this one, and then let's drag this one all the way to the bottom, and let's go ahead and bring him up to about right there, and that should be fine for now. So we're going to go ahead and shift click and turn everything off and just turn these rocks on. Just like that, and click on the top layer, and then right click and click on merge visible layers, and then merge them, and then hold down shift and click and turn everything back on, and we'll name this rocks. And let's go ahead and duplicate this one, and let's go ahead and drag this guy over. Let's press Shift R for rotate, and let's kind of just rotate these around. Just like that. Let's press M on our keyboard, and let's kind of drag these. Let's press Shift R again. Let's kind of move those around. Let's press rotate. And my computer is being a little bit slower because I have a bunch of things running on it, and this image is super large. So there we go. And I think we'll go ahead and press M. And I think we'll leave the rocks like that. And let's go ahead and move these over just a tad bit. Just like that. And I'm going to close this rock image out here. Alrighty, so we have that. And next, let's add us some bubbles in here. So let's go File, Open as Layers. And then let's go File, find our bubbles. Let's open this one up. And let's zoom way in here. I know you can't see that, but I'm going to press Shift T. And I'm going to go ahead and raise the size of these bubbles up here. And pull them out some. Try not to distort them too much. Just like that. And let's press Scale. And then let's go ahead and let's put these bubbles behind her. Just like that. And let's go ahead and go to colors, and then let's go to curves. Let's just kind of play around with these a little bit and make them a little bit more lighter. Just like that. Let's press OK. Alrighty, I like that. Now let's add in some more bubbles. So let's go to File, Open as Layers. And let's go ahead and add these miscellaneous bubbles elements. Press OK. And then let's press M on our keyboard for the move tool. And let's press Shift T to raise the size of these. Press Scale. Let's press M on our keyboard. And it's totally up to you if you want to leave these in front of the rocks or behind the rocks. I like that, so I'm going to leave them behind the rocks. I'm going to go ahead and Shift D that, and then I'm going to move them over to this side. And on this one though, I'm going to right click and I'm going to add a layer mask, white full opacity, grab my paintbrush tool, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to thin some of these bubbles out, just so they don't look the same as this side over here. Yeah, there we go. I like that. And that's kind of what I had going on over there. So I accidentally closed that image. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it back in there and zoom in here. So we have some bubbles over here, stuff like that. And this is actually pretty simple. It's just, like I said, pretty monotonous. So we're going to go ahead and go to File. And this time we're just going to do Open. And we are going to open the fish. So let's find the fish here. Let's see, rock. Okay, we'll drag in the blue fish. And then let's open up the other one, which is this, the yellow fish. And depending on how you want yours to look, we're going to click on the path tool. Depending on how you want yours to look, you can take these fish out of anywhere. And what I did on mine is I took 4 fish out and then 3 fish of each. I'm going to go through here and I'll just show you kind of the process I did. I'm not going to go ahead and cut them all out for tutorial purposes. I have a file with them saved already. So let's go in here with our path tool. And all you do is you just kind of do like you do cut anything else out. And you just kind of run along the fish here. And I will probably speed this process up, but I'm just going to run around the fish real quick and I will be right back. Alright guys, I am back, and all I did was, I just cut around the fish real quick. So now all you gotta do is just go to select, and then from path. And I'm using a plugin that I downloaded and I've talked about quite a few times in my tutorials, but it's the layer via cut. And so I'm just going to click on it, layer via cut, and I'm going to press M on my keyboard for the move tool. Now if I turn this original one off, now you'll see that we have a fish, and all you do is just right click, edit, copy, not cut, Control Z, edit, copy, and then come back over here, edit, and then paste, just like we did with everything. And then press M on your keyboard to bring up the move tool. And there you go. Now you got a fish inside of your image. And you'll want to do the same thing with these fish. And what I did with this one was I just came in here and I found the best fish because they're all kind of pretty much the same looking. And I used this one right here. And I went around and I just cut around this guy here. And I just reused him over. So you guys could go ahead and go through and do that. I'm going to go ahead and close these out now because I already have them cut out. And so I'm just going to go to File, Open, and Fish 2. Then I'm going to go to File, Open. Then I'm going to open this fish one right here. And so if I turn this off, the bottom layer, you'll see that I got these 4 fish in here. And then if I turn this one off here, you'll see that I cut that one out there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm just going to click on each one and then edit, copy, edit, paste, and just kind of move this guy here, and I'll just go through each one, edit, copy, edit, paste. And you can do Control C and Control V, but for some reason, I don't know, on this version of Gimp, it don't work right. So I just do it like this. And just kind of add these guys in here. Edit, copy, edit, paste. Just like that, and that's all for these yellow fish. And so we are going to go ahead and just kind of move these guys around, kind of like that. Maybe put this guy right here. Kind of move these guys in place here. Something like that. This top one right here. I'm going to delete this one. Then let's see. Let's find this guy here. Let's kind of move him, I don't know, into the swing of things. And let's move this guy kind of up front. Which one is this one? Come back right here. Kind of like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and hold down Shift and turn everything off and just turn all these fish back on. And then I'm going to right click, merge visible layers, merge, and hold down Shift and turn everything back on. Then I'm going to duplicate these fish and I'm just kind of move them around, kind of like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and link both these layers. That way I can move them around. I'm going to press Shift T and I'm going to scale both of these down. Just like that. And I'm going to press M on my keyboard and kind of just move these guys kind of right there. And then let's go ahead and unlink these and let's right click and let's merge these guys down. And let's move these fish below the rocks, kind of like that. So they're coming from the rocks. Kind of looks all right there. And then we're going to go ahead and duplicate these one more time. And we are going to move these guys all the way under her. And kind of put them behind her. We're going to press Shift T. And we're going to scale these guys way down here. Press M. Let's kind of move them back there. Let's press Control Shift D to duplicate them one more time. Kind of that we have a school going on there. And that looks pretty good to me. Let's go back up to the top fish. I'm going to rename this to fish. Just like that. And let's go ahead and duplicate. Control Z that. Let's go ahead and duplicate, not delete. And let's put some kind of coming out here. And now for these fish, we're going to just go to filters. And we're going to go to blur. And then I got focus blur. And we are going to focus blur them by 5. Press OK. And then on this one, and then just press Control F to redo the last filter that you did. Then let's go down here and find these other fish. Control F. Control F. And I just kind of wanted to kind of blur these guys just a little bit to take away from some of them harsh edges. And then we are going to just go to colors. And then let's go to brightness and contrast. And just let's kind of tone the brightness down on them. Give them just a tad bit of contrast. Then let's press Control F. Nope. That don't work for the colors. So we'll just go back and we'll redo brightness contrast for all of them. So tone the brightness down just a tad and give them just a tad bit of contrast. Let's do it for these two. Colors, brightness, contrast. Tone the brightness down just a tad bit and give them just a tad bit of contrast. And let's do it one more time. And press OK. And now let's go ahead and let's add the bluefish. So we're going to edit, copy, and then come back over here, edit, paste. And we're going to put this guy on a new layer. Press M on our keyboard to bring up the move tool. And I want this guy to be coming from over here. So that looks fine to me. And then let's duplicate. And let's place one right here. And let's duplicate one more time. And let's kind of place, I don't know, one in front. And let's press Shift T, and let's go ahead and lower this guy's size. Press M on our keyboard, kind of line him up here. Then let's go with this guy. Let's press Shift T on him, and let's lower his size just a little bit. Let's press M on our keyboard, and let's just kind of move him into place here. And then let's go ahead and duplicate the littler guy again. And let's kind of move one about right here. And that looks fine to me. So I'm going to go ahead and hold down Shift and turn everything off and just turn these fish back on. I'm going to right click, merge visible layers, press OK. Hold down Shift and turn everything back on again. And I'm going to put these guys below the rocks. And we are going to just go up to filters and repeat focus blur. And give them a little bit of blur also. And then we are going to go to colors and then curves. And let's go to our blue channel. And let's just kind of play with these guys. Just a tad bit. And let's press OK. And then let's go to colors and let's go to color balance. And let's bring in the blues a little bit. And let's press OK there. And let's go ahead and Shift D this layer. And let's press M on our keyboard. And let's go ahead and move some of these guys off here. And let's press Shift T. And let's go ahead and make these guys smaller. Just like that. And I really like that. And this tutorial is moving faster than what I thought it would. And it took me a whole lot longer than this to make this, but I guess that's because I was trying to get things right and stuff. But let's see. The next thing that we want to add, you could always add more fish and more sea creatures and all that kind of good stuff if you would like. But the next thing we're going to add is bubbles. So let's go ahead and open as layers. And then let's find the bubble. Where is it at? There it is. Big bubble. And let's press M on our keyboard. And let's drag this guy up. And as you can see, we got us a big bubble in there now. And we are just going to just duplicate this guy. And just kind of move him around. And let's press Shift T and kind of make some smaller ones. Press M on our keyboard. And then let's press Control Shift D and duplicate this guy. And let's press Shift T and make him smaller. And then let's Control Shift D this guy. And let's press M on our keyboard to move him. And then let's press Shift T to make this one even smaller. Scale. Press M because I don't want it right close to each other. And then let's press Control Shift D. Duplicate this one, and then let's press Shift T and make this one even smaller. Press scale, move on, or press M on your keyboard for the move tool, and that looks good to me. So let's go ahead and come to this original one here, and let's just duplicate it real quick, and then let's hold down Shift, turn everything else off, and then let's just turn everything else on from above, and then click on the top one, merge visible layers, and then let's just merge. Then let's hold down Shift and turn everything else on. And you see that we still have this big guy over here. And this top layer, I'll just name this bubble. And then let's go ahead and duplicate this one. And then let's go ahead and drag the duplicate down here by these rocks down here. Actually, let's bring it about here, just like that. And then let's just go ahead and take this big bubble here. Oops, Control Z. Grab the big bubble and the Lone Ranger here. And let's just kind of place them around. And then let's press Control Shift D and duplicate. And let's put one here. Let's press Shift T. And let's scale him down, Control Shift D, duplicate, Press M on our keyboard to move it. Let's place one maybe in the hair. Shift T. Let's scale that one down. Control Shift D to duplicate. M on our keyboard for the move tool. And kind of place one maybe right there. And let's go ahead and Control Shift D, duplicate that one. So maybe put a couple of them. Control Shift D, maybe over here in this corner. Control Shift D, down over here. Let's press Shift T. Let's go ahead and raise the size up so we don't have. Control Shift D to duplicate. Press M on our keyboard. And move one over here. Press Shift T to raise the size. Scale. And there we go. I like that. And so there's a bunch of bubbles added in the scene now. Now let's go down to our mermaid. And let's rename this just to Mermaid. And let's go ahead and create a new layer. And let's call this darken. Just like that. And let's go ahead and click on the mermaid layer, not the mask. And then let's right click and alpha to selection. And then let's click on our darken layer and let's grab our paintbrush on black. Let's move the opacity all the way down to about 9. And our brush size should be okay. And then let's just run over these light highlights on the mermaid here to darken them just a tiny bit, just because they're a little bit too bright for the scene, or at least for my taste anyways. So just kind of run over that pretty much, and then let's press Control Shift A to deselect, and now you'll see that them highlights are toned down a little bit. This is a water scene, and there is nothing that we need to do to the model. She's painted, and the model itself, the image itself, was already pretty high quality. So there ain't no touch-ups we need to do to her or anything like that. The next thing that we'll do is to the rocks, and we'll just go to filter, and then we'll go to blur, and then Gaussian blur. And let's find the rock. There we go. And we will do 20. And then let's press OK. And so it kind of just blurs it a little bit. If that's too harsh for a lot of your guys' likings, maybe try, I don't know, 10 maybe. But I kind of want it out of focus because it's kind of like, you know, you're right here and you're taking the picture, and we want everything like we see right here. We want everything focused pretty much. That's the reason why I placed these bubbles around here. I guess I should have said that. To draw your attention, and that's the reason why we had the fish going like this, because we're wanting to draw the attention to the model, not the scene, not the background, none of that. So let's go ahead and let's click on the other rock, and let's press Control F to reuse that last filter. Okay, there it goes. And yeah, I kind of like that. That looks pretty good to me. So, trying to remember if there is anything else. Let me go ahead and close these fish out of here. Discard changes. Discard changes. I will leave the fish files for download too, but I got to look and see which license these fish are under. If I could redistribute it, as long as I give credit, I will, and you guys could have those files. If not, then you guys will have to spend your time cutting out these fish. Let's see here. Go ahead and click on this. Maximize. Let me go ahead and kind of move this around here. I'm trying to remember if I blurred that background or not. Let's go ahead and minimize. Alrighty, so there it is there. So I'm going to go ahead and go to File, Save. And this might take a little bit. Is like I said before, this is a pretty huge file. And now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and go to image, and then you could go ahead and scale the image down to 2000 by 2000 if you wanted to. As a matter of fact, no, I think I'm going to leave it high res, but 2000 by 2000 is a pretty good size image. So right now I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go, you guys can go to Export or Export As. I have Export As, so I'm going to go ahead and export it as, I don't want to do a PNG because it's just too big. I'm going to do a JPEG, and I'm going to hit on Export, and I want quality 100% export, and it's going to take a minute, and it's already exported. So I'm going to go ahead and File, I'm going to quit. Alrighty guys, I am back, and I opened up Perfect Effects 9 free. I'm going to use the free version for this. And this is what it looks like. So all we're going to do is just click on Open, and we will go over here to our image, and we will find the Mermaid tutorial, and we'll just click on Open to open it up. And we are going to edit a copy. You could do a TIFF or a JPEG, but I'm going to do Photoshop support layers, and I always do that. You could do a smart photo re-editable PSD. Now, as you all know, Photoshop files can be opened inside of Gimp, but just sometimes the layer effects and stuff like that don't work. The image will come in fine, but you'll lose the layer effects and stuff like that. So just be aware of that. So I'm just going to press OK. And we're going to give it a second to load up. And this for a free version, this is pretty awesome. And so you just want to go to Filters, and well, they got presets. We'll do the presets first. Let's see, cinematic. No, wait, yeah, cinematic. And I'm going to do the glow, baby. And that just kind of makes everything kind of blurred and popped a little bit. And then the thing with this is this layer is added now. Now we want to come over here and click on the plus to add a empty layer, so we could go ahead and add another effect. Let's see, commercial. I don't remember which ones I use now, but we will just go ahead and run through these real quick. And let's go back up to commercial, and let's click on crisp and cool real quick. I don't remember if I used that one or not. Yes, I did. And we're going to go ahead and leave that just like that. And you can change the layer opacity if you'd like. And we'll change it to about 50%. And I'm going to click on the plus to add another one. And let's see here. I don't think I used any more of those. So let's go to Filters, and let's click on Adjustable Gradient. And we are going to click on Glow. And if you drag this around, you'll see that the gradient will move. And so if I drag this all the way down, that means that the effect is going to happen on the whole image. Drag it up, and it blocks that out. But the glow is not the one that I wanted. The one that I wanted was the detail. We're going to click Replace, and this is the one that I wanted. So you drag this up, you see that it gets less, and then drag this back up. Right here, you could go ahead and make the layer blend more. But I'm going to keep this all the way down. I want to keep it pretty tight blend. Come back up here. And I want to bring out all the details, so I'm going to go all the way down with this. Then I'm going to click on New, and we are going to click on, let's see, Punch. No, not Punch, Vibrance. Oops. I'm going to click on Vibrance. There we go. So, and we are going to make this more vibrant and make it more, make the colors pop more. Just like that. We're going to click on New and bring up a empty layer, and let's try this punch. And so we're going to try this punch out.